Good morning. You're watching the Weiss channel. All right, today we are going to do scatter plots. Scatter plots. What? Okay, scatter plots. Today we're going to talk about scatter plots. Can we put colon space down, please? Colon space down, colon space down. Close laptops for a minute, everyone. Colon space down. You too, Sophia. All right. Okay. Scatter plots means that we're going to plot points and they're going to be scattered on the graph. Okay. College's math teacher plots student grades on their weekly quizzes against the number of hours they say they study on a pair of coordinate axes, and then draws a line of best fit. A line of best fit means just pretty much guessing what the best line would be to match up, because it's not a perfect line, but we're just going to draw one in there just to see approximately where a point would land based on a figure. For example, all right, it says, what is the meaning of the y value on the line when x equals 1? Okay, so taking a look, all right, in other words, people who studied 0 hours got approximately 60 on a quiz. People who studied, say, 5 hours got in the 90s. Okay. People who studied 4 hours got somewhere in the 80s. People who studied 3 hours got somewhere in the upper 70s. Okay. 2 hours got in the lower 70s. So what is it for 1 hour? What would it be for 1 hour? What did people score in general? Upper 60s, right? Upper 60s. Now, you're going to have multiple choices on this one. This is going to be easy. Okay, Malia correctly told me that for 1 hour, it was upper 60s, right? So, does it make sense that a prediction of a student's quiz score if they spent 1 hour on their homework? Does that make sense that this value here, whoops. Okay. This value here is based on a prediction, it's not exact. It's not, you will get exactly this number on your quiz if you studied 1 hour. It's not exact, it's a prediction, it's approximate. Nod your head if you understand what I'm saying, okay? Will it be, if you see the word actual today, actual or exact, you can just forget about that. This is not, when it says actual, just ignore it, forget it, right? It's not going to be actual. This line is going to be an approximation. Okay, an approximation. It will never be exact, it will never be actual. Okay, so that second one's out. You see actual here, forget about it. Okay. A prediction would at 1 hour, would it be a prediction of a student's quiz score if they spend 66.1 hours on their homework? No, right? It's talking about if they spend 1 hour on their homework. That's what the 1 means, right? Hey, where did they come up with 66.1 anyway? They came up with 66.1. Here, they're saying that that's about 66.1 right there. But that is the quiz score, right? Not the number of hours spent studying. Can I get one more nod? You understand what I'm saying? Okay?
So,
Yes.
all the like the answer questions.
Oh,
Well, if they said like, actual, then,
if you said actual, that's not your answer.
okay.
These lines represent an approximation. Okay? Because you see, it's not exact. Here are exact scores that were plotted. But we drew a line to show approximately what you can figure you'll get. Okay? Let's look at another example. Malika has a part-time job at an ice skating rink selling hot cocos. She decided to plot the number of hot cocos she sold relative to the day's high temperature and then draw the line of best fit. As the temperature gets warmer out, do you think she'll sell more hot cocoa when it gets warmer? In fact, the warmer it gets, the fewer hot cocos she'll sell, right? Okay, you see, these are exact, the yellow dots are exact figures, these are exact numbers, but we draw a line to give an approximation based on the points, okay? So the question says, what does the point 3557 represent? 3557 is right there. So in other words, 35 is here, where it says high temperature, right? 35, and 57 is hot cocos sold, right? So what does 3557 mean? I practically just said it. The temperature at 35 degrees, what? She sold 57. She sold 57 hot cocos when it was 35 degrees. Could you nod your head if you understand that one, please? Chris, can we put a phone down for like 4 more minutes, okay? And then you can go back to your phone. So here, at 35 degrees, she sold 57 hot cocos, right? It says when the day's high temperature is 35, Malika should expect to sell about 57 hot cocos. I think that's the answer, right? When the day's high temperature was 35, Malika sold 57 hot cocos. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. So, all right. Do you see that this 3557 is actually an exact point? It's not actually on the line. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not on the line, it's an actual point. That means the day, sorry, so now I'm reversing what I just said on the last one. Because I thought all of the questions would be based on the line itself. That if you're talking about the line, it's a prediction. But if you're talking about an actual point, that is an actual answer. So do you understand how I messed up that first time? But if you get an actual point, then use the word actual. But if you're on the line, then you're talking about an approximation or what an expectation. So my fault. When the day's high temperature is 35, Malika should expect? No. She actually sold 57. It's the second one. When the day's high temperature is 57, no, the temperature in this one is 35. 57 is the number of hot cocos. High temperature 57, no, that's the number of hot cocos, okay? It's always going to be very easy to get rid of two of them right away because two of them are going to be on the other axis, right? Okay, let's look at another example. Chloe keeps track of the number of people inside a music hall to attend a concert by looking at the number of scanned tickets. She plotted the data on the graph below. X equals 0 is 6 o'clock p.m. Then she drew a line of best fit. What does the point 1.25, 172.2 mean? Okay. In other words, all right, hours past 6 p.m. Here's 6 o'clock. 1 hour is going to be 7 o'clock. 2 hours is going to be 8 o'clock, right? Does it make sense that 1.25 is 1¼ hours? And would you agree that a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes? A quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. Nod your head if you know what I'm saying. Okay. So it says 1:15. Wait a minute. 1:15. Remember what it said about 0.0? At 0, where x equals 0 at 6 p.m. So is 1 hour later going to be 1 p.m.? No, right? It's going to be 7 p.m., right? So for it to say 1:15, forget about it, right? So the ones that say 1:15, forget it, right? 7:15, right? At 7:15, there were exactly 172 people. Were there exactly 172 people? This point is right on the line, right? If it's right on the line, that's not exact, remember? Okay. So forget about that one. At 7:15, she should expect 172.2 people, right? That's going to be your answer. Nod your head if you're good, okay? The scatter plot and line of best fit show the length of 6 people's femur. Who knows what a femur is? Right? Although, thank goodness it tells me. It says the long leg bone in the thigh. Okay, so your femur, I guess, is somewhere in here. And I guess it corresponds with height. I didn't know that. Whatever. The point is, don't worry about all the words in these problems, okay? It says, what does the point 39 and 150.4 represent? All right, well, let's see. At the bottom here, it says femur length. Okay, so 39 is going to represent femur length. Nod your head if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, and then this is going to represent height, how tall you are. So 150.4 is going to represent height of a person, right? So femur length and height of a person. All right. Is it on the line or is it an exact fit? This one is an actual point, right? So it's going to be an exact. No. Height of an actual person with a femur length of 150? No, the femur length is 39, right? So this one's out. Expected? No, out. Height of an actual person, femur length of 39 centimeters is 150.4 centimeters. That's your answer, right? Do you see that all I have to do is match up? The only one that said 39 was the femur length. That's the only one that actually said that, right? This will be really easy on Delta Math today, okay? I gave you like 16 of these. I just want you to read the problem and match the correct answer, okay? Okay, so those of you watching this, it's on Delta Math, okay? And I call it the scatter plot assignment, okay? You've been watching the Weiss channel.